Morning traders, welcome to the live trading room. I hope you all had a great weekend. Right, some exciting news. We have loaded our chat rooms. If you go onto the website, guys, check out, we've got 5 different chat rooms: the US dollar chat rooms, the euros and pound chat rooms, commodities and cryptos, crosses and yens, as well as the indexes chat rooms. So that means anyone who wants to discuss US dollar pairs will discuss them under the US dollar chat rooms. Only admins are allowed to post the charts on there. So we will post up charts for our views on the chat rooms, and you can ask any questions on the chat rooms. So we're doing this for support. We will explain what our view is and the biases are. But obviously, as you know, we've got all the charts. We are updating the charts. As you've seen, the charts are being updated regularly, almost on a daily basis. So you will also have that to refer to. So the chat room is a live support room where we can assist you if maybe you are in a trade and you need to get a view immediately. As long as the chat room is manned, we will be able to assist you there. So that's really good. Check out the rest of the site here on the chat room, chat of the week. Check out the chat of the week as well. It's posted there. It is not only for members, it is for available for everyone who visits the website. So that is how this is going to work. Right, so this afternoon, that will be 11, it's actually still going to be morning in GMT time, 11:30 GMT, which is 13:30 South African time. We've got our afternoon analysis. We haven't confirmed yet exactly which group of pairs we're going to look at this afternoon, but just log on there and check. Usually it's probably going to be the US dollar pairs. The schedule is on here. We've got on the schedule on the website. I see I made a mistake here. We've made a mistake with the time for the afternoon schedule. Let's just have a look here. I'm trying to get the schedule for the afternoon. How do I get to that? Look, I can't find it here, but it is going to be 13:30 GMT. No, not GMT. Apologies. Let's get this right. The time for the afternoon webinar is 11:30 GMT. Right, that is 13:30 South African time. Right. So that's how that is going to work. Check out for that. So with these, the morning sessions, I will be hosting the morning sessions, and Sandile will be hosting the afternoon sessions. So what the difference between this session and the afternoon sessions is that I'm only looking for trade setups. I'm not going through all the charts, and I'm not going to go into detailed analysis. I'm only trying to identify trade setups. So the afternoon sessions will make sure that in a week, we go through at least each and every pair, and each and every pair is done in detail. But you'll see that most of the time, if you're doing the US dollar pairs, the sequence in the cycle is usually similar. So we'll make sure that the US dollar pairs, basically all these groups of pairs here, are done in a week. So I'm only going to be looking at trade setups. I'm not going to go through all the charts. Okay, so we just look for a pair. If there's no trade setup, then we don't look at that. We just pass by. So if you're looking for a detailed analysis on that, refer to the chart on the website as well as the afternoon sessions. Let's get started. Any questions regarding that? Yes, Sandile is doing a great job, very experienced trader. You'll be amazed to know that he also learned his trades, his trade here with us in our group. So if you do well, you can also get to that level as well. He's an amazing trader. Very proud of him. Right, so let's get started. Start with the DXY. Let's get the annotation tool here. So the DXY, we are still looking at these 3 waves here. This is still a valid WXY structure. Can we start seeing a move to the downside here? Let's look at the stock and the RSI here. Check what we've got. The 4 hour is not giving us a setup. Okay, but we have dipped below 50. Right, let's look at the daily. We've got the sequence and the structure. Now we're looking at the indicators. Now the daily, Still hasn't confirmed. We're still looking at this to be 3 up, 3 back, and 3 up. So I'm expecting that here. We're still within the blue box. As you've seen, we've just popped up above the blue box. This is still our blue box. Now I'm looking for this setup here for the DXY to continue the move to the downside. Okay, so let's see if we're going to get that. The daily hasn't confirmed because now this is now coming down here. So it is possible that this can come down here and this one can just continue to the downside like that. So what we are going to be looking out for is this on the DXY. You're going to be looking for this to break lower here, any break to the downside here, and a correction. We look for the DXY to resume the previous lows around this area. It's exactly the same thing we're looking at on the euros. Have we now reached a reversal level on the euro where we're looking for this one to make a three-wave structure, push back up here, and a pullback? Do we now get a move to the upside? Same as the DXY, you see it is 3 waves to the downside here. It is 3 waves down, 3 waves up. I need to use a different color. Let's use the red color. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We don't force the numbers. We don't force the counts. It's 3, 3, 3. Are we ready to make a bounce? We have not, because so the euro and the DXY have reached their blue box, and as you've seen, both of them have gone a little bit beyond and below their blue boxes respectively. Let's see, this is what we have here. So we are still making that reversal from the blue box. Okay, so what we're going to be looking for, we're going to be looking for this to get out of this structure, break out of the structure. Looks like we have. Now, any continuation pattern from around these levels, we'll be looking to take it up higher. So the RSI on the 4-hour is already above 50. Okay, welcome to those that have just joined us. Don't forget, please make sure that you watch the beginning of the video for the announcements that we've got here. So we've pushed above the 50 line on the RSI. We are above here. Even though we are at the top here, it doesn't matter. What we're going to be looking at is this the start of a move to the upside. Then we're going to get the trades. So let's look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour is showing us that there may be a trade set up for upside, which we can start looking at. As you can see, I've already identified that. So we'll be looking for this. Look at the RSI. RSI still well above 50, and we've already reset it here. We can start making a move to the upside here. So if we get a candle closing above this flag, we can take the trade, put the stop below here, make your push your stop to break even at equal legs of this. Let's get this one properly. So you've already seen the indicator. I'm going to take it off. So this is how you're going to manage it. If you get a trade from that level, you're going to do this. Move it to break even when price reaches this level, because at this level, this will be 3 waves, which could come down here. So you need to move it to break even. So if it's not going to make the 3 waves and we are ready to go, then you're well in the trade, you are safe, and you are in the money. So that's how you're going to manage euro US dollar. Look out for this flag and look out for a clear candle close above the flag here. Then you're going to take it up. Move it to break even at around 1900. If it gets there, that's how we're going to be looking at that. That's the trade setup that we'll be looking at on the euro, right? Pound US dollar. Pound US dollar is pulling back. Remember here with pound US dollar, we had said that we wanted to get to the blue box, which did not happen. And it looks like we've now made a 3-wave structure here with pound US dollar. Okay, so let's have a look at this. And we've dipped below 50 on the 1 hour. Let's switch off here. So if we're going to sell pound US dollar, you have to do it here. Okay, but be careful, because this could be the pullback that gets us all the way to the upside. So look at this pullback on the 4 hour. Just make note of that pullback on the 4 hour. So if that pullback, if we're ready to go, because we're seeing the euro as pushing to the upside, but the pound is pulling back. If we are ready to go, that three-wave pullback that I was showing you just now will be to give us an entry for a further upside. So that means we need to watch the pound here for this move. Okay, it is not supportive of upside as yet, because if you look at the 1 hour, we are already below 50 here, but doesn't mean anything at this stage. We need to confirm with the structure, because if this is going to continue lower like that, that means we're going to look for this. So whichever one the indicator confirms first, that's what we're going to look at. If we're going to get one more down before we push to the upside. Okay, so at this stage, it is not very clear what we're going to be, what's going to be happening there. So we're just going to wait for it to get more data. US Dollar Chief has already started making a push to the downside, supporting the US dollar weakness that we're focusing on the DXY. So we are below 50 on the 4 hour, but obviously the daily is still well above 50. So we may be getting a deeper pullback here, deeper pullback after making this big 5-wave structure here. So that's 1, that's 2. This actually looks like a 3. It could be a 4 and a 5. Let's draw that clearly. If you look at this, you'll see that we have got this structure here, lower degree. Looks like the chief is not done as yet. Even if we do get a deeper pullback, these are the 5 waves here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We already have 1, 2, 3. We can get a deeper 4 and then a 5. So let's watch for this pullback. So that pullback will support Euro, US dollar down, but there's no trade setup there. The trade setup will come if we get a pullback like this to the downside. Okay, so that's what you have there. US dollar CAD. Now, US dollar CAD, as you all know, this looks like a corrective structure. This looks corrective, but if we look at the indicator, look for a trade setup to the downside as follows. Look for this one to go and retest the lows here at around 122. We're very close. We're very close to where we to our target on this one of 120 on US dollar CAD. So we're still looking for this to continue to the downside. We may get around here, come around this side, and then get to 120 before we start expecting a move to the upside. So as you'll see, the last couple of days, this has been slowing down with significant divergence on this is on the 4 hour. This has been slowing down for a while now, and this has been diverting to the upside for a while now. So since November, we have already started the divergence. So we can see that this will eventually push to the upside. We just want it to keep coming down towards our target is 120, and then we start looking for upside. So let's keep track of this. We'll keep looking at the indicator, and the indicator is showing us that this will continue to the downside. Let's look at the 1 hour, see if we've got a 1 hour correction, or rather a 1 hour setup. Yes, we do have a 1 hour setup. So that is showing us that this is going to continue to the downside. That is a 3-wave pullback, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to see this continue to the downside. We are just above 50 here. We are already at the top. So US dollar CAD continuation to the downside. See Audi US dollar. Audi US dollar, let's have a look here. We've made a 3-wave move to the upside. We have not reached the blue box. It is not a requirement, a rule that we go to the blue box, but it just makes our lives much easier if we do hit the blue box. It makes it a high probable trade, but we are currently looking at this on the 4 hour, looking for this one to still continue down into the blue box, right? And then we'll look for this one to continue pushing up higher. We've got a continuation pattern, and the indicator is confirming downside here. Okay, so that is Audi US dollar. Let's have a look at this on the 1 hour. Okay, no trade setup on the 1 hour, but we are dipping below 50. So this is our setup here on Audi. Okay, we'll be looking for one more down. Same as New Zealand. We'll be looking for this trade setup. Any entry here for downside, we take it. Okay, if you're an aggressive trader, you can actually take this one now, put your stop at 71. That is an 73 pip stop. After this, then we start looking for this one to go into the blue box and then upside. You're looking for this structure. So there's no sign of reversal yet. We're looking for this to make one more down. That's actually a continuation pattern confirmed by the indicator for this to push lower. Continuation to the downside. Well, remember, we're looking for this to go into the blue box. We are very close to the blue box, which is here. So if you look at this, this looks like a 5-wave move with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, not like that. This is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's 5 waves here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 waves there. 1, 2, 3. Current 4. Then we're looking for this 5 to go into the blue box. This is the 3 waves for the correction. So that's an ABC corrective structure. Let's see if we're going to get this drop here to the blue box. This is our blue box here. And we'll be looking for this one to continue to the upside. There is divergence if this sticks, if this stays like this, as long as this does not go below here. Otherwise, if it does, then it invalidates that divergence. So we're seeing already a rise here. Let's see if we're going to get one more down here and then upside. US dollar ZAR continues to the downside. Nothing changes. We check out the weekly outlook from yesterday. We're still looking for this one to continue lower. Last week, we've been looking at this corrective structure for it to drop. We have dropped from around 1508, 1509. Now we're looking for downside here. Pound yen. Pound yen is a simple pullback that we're going to get here. We are still looking for this to continue up to 156. Don't go and buy this now without a decent pullback. We're looking for this. If you get another decent pullback, we're looking for pound to go beyond this. US dollar yen. That corrective structure we looked at yesterday is still valid. We're still looking for this to break above this and continue to the upside. Euro yen. So Euro yen, we're expecting that we get a deeper correction after that expanding flat. We should get a deeper correction from current levels, something like that, before this resumes with the move to the upside. Okay, so we'd actually want something like this before we push to the upside. Let's see how this is going to play out here. We can see that currently this is still pushing up higher. The RSI is still well above 50. This is going to crawl to the upside. Maybe we get to that level, we get a pullback and then upside. So just keep track of Euro yen, and as well as CHF yen is the same structure. They've both played flat corrections and we're looking for further upside. All right, so let's have a look at CHF yen. Right, thank you. We're on. Right, so CHF yen, let's switch everything off here. CHF yen has already played this corrective structure here. These three waves here, 1, 2, and a 3. Perfect zigzag with a shorter leg, has made a move after that. So looks like 5 waves here. Now after those, we're going to expect at least a pullback to about 38 and then a move to the upside, continuation to the upside on CHF yen. Right, CAD yen. Look for continuation to the upside. It's setting up for more upside. That's a clear setup for continuation to the upside after a candle closes above this. Do not rush it just because you see a flag. The candle has to close above here. This is, the indicators are already okay. I've already confirmed we are at the bottom. We are about 50. we're actually retesting from the top. We're looking for this to continue to the upside. Keep an eye on this. You can even put in an alert on this one as follows. I'm going to put my alert here a little bit higher, so when I get an alert, the candle is already extended. Remember, it is not just about crossing the line. It must close above the boundary. So I want to put in the alert. I just wanted to alert me when we start touching that upper boundary. Okay, so this is the reason why you have to wait for confirmation. So if you look at New Zealand yen, we can see that it is the same structure as CAD yen. Now, if you had just bought because you're within the flag, what was going to happen to you or to your trade? This looks like it's pulling back, and you're not going to get that continuation pattern that you're looking for. So that's why you wait for confirmation. This is at the bottom. This is at 50. Is this going to still play out? Has not been invalidated yet, can still play out. But if you look at this here, it looks like we've got 5 waves, and we could be getting this one to give us the 3 before we push to the upside. So let's keep an eye around these areas for entry. Audi going sideways. What could be doing this before we push up higher? Nothing really there. Gold, if we are going to take gold, we're going to have to do this. We've got one. We've got this looking corrective, and we can have this one pulling back as that. So if we're going to buy gold, we're going to have to wait for that structure. So 4 hour, we're staying above 50 on the RSI, and the stock is at the bottom. So we want to get that confirmation around this area to see if we are buying gold as yet. Silver will lead us as to whether gold pushes up higher or not, because this is now making this continuation pattern, and we'll be looking for this to continue lower. Silver looks like it's still going to continue to the downside. The overall structure, the bigger structure, is still bearish on silver, and we're still looking for silver to get around 22. We're currently $2 away, $3 away from current levels. Platinum, one of our charts of the week or trade setup. We got that one when we broke out of this structure. It went up, made this correction, and pushed up higher as follows. Is this ready to, has this made 3 waves, and now we're going to see downside here. Let's see, let's watch how this plays out as it is. We are correcting around these levels. That's how we're going to look for a trade setup. We're going to look for a trade setup like that. Brent crude. You'll be looking for this. You're looking for this. And the yellow move is this one. We're looking for the yellow to do this. Whether it's going to go all the way from here or not, doesn't matter. We're going to be looking for oil to get back around 66 at first. All right, so that is Brent crude. Pound chief. Pound chief hasn't really taken off since breaking out of this corrective structure. What I'm noticing with pound chief is that there's very strong divergence. Very strong divergence. If you look at this here, keep making lower lows or lower highs. High. This making lower lows. So it looks like we are going to start getting a deeper correction here on pound chief before a resumption of the move to the upside. So let's keep an eye on this. No trade as yet. Those lines, we drew them yesterday during the weekly outlook, looking at how corrective this is. That is pound CAD. We'll be looking for pound CAD to start dropping to around these levels. If that's the case, we could get this one bouncing up and then coming down. And this will be an ABC corrective structure. We'll watch for the trade setups. Pound Audi. Looks like we've reached the end of the correction and we are now starting to get a trade set up as follows. 4 hour has not dipped below 50 as yet, but if we do get a candle closing below here, that will be a trade setup. That will be a very good one to be looking at on pound Audi. So let's keep an eye on that. Right, this will be our trade setup here. This will be worth many pips. If it plays out, let's add another alert on this one. You all know where this comes from. As it has been moving to the upside, we have been tracking it as follows. As 3 waves up like that. Now we're looking for this to come down, possibly even around these levels. So let's watch. Pound New Zealand is within the blue box. Why are we saying that it's the blue box? It's because of this. And this could have been the end at this level. Now start looking for trade setups for downside. So this is how we look at this. Look for downside. Euro pound. Is this a real bounce? Is this a real reversal, or is it a simple 3 waves? Let's see if we're going to get this. Euro Audi. No trade set up there. I'm not looking for anything. It's just going sideways there. Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, we're looking at these two go all the way to the downside. But we've got a pulsing move. Let's wait for this one to give us more data. We'll watch it as it breaks above this corrective structure. For now, there's no trade setup. EuroCAD is another continuation pattern. You know, every time this one gives us continuation patterns, guaranteed that we continue to the downside. So we're looking for this. So these are going to be some of our trade setups that we're going to be looking at. Euro Chief going sideways. We did not drop. We've just gone sideways. We have not dropped as expected. Looks like we're going to have one more up here. So we're not going to go to the downside. This is showing us continuation to the upside. That's Euro. Now this will be a trade setup here on Audi New Zealand. Watch this. Watch this here. Breaking lower here. We're going to continue to the downside. Can that not be a leading diagonal on which pair? On Euro Chief. It's possible, very possible. Can very well, yes, be a leading diagonal. So we're looking for this to break up higher. We are at the bottom, about 50. That's where we want to see that. Audi will expect it to continue lower. Here's the trade setup on the 1 hour Audi CAD. Audi Chief, sideways. New Zealand CAD. There's a setup. New Zealand Chief. Another one continuing to the downside. There we go. Let's put this one a bit lower. We want to be certain that when this does play out, we are notified. CAD Chief. CAD Chief is an opportunity, just like CAD Yen. Look for a candle to close above this. That's CAD Chief. Let's look at the indices. Nothing new. Keep pressing up higher. We keep pressing up higher. Nasdaq pressing up higher. Nothing new. Still pushing up higher. So all the analysis from yesterday is still valid. DAX is pushed up higher. Nikkei could make this structure. As follows. Before pushing up higher. Nifty. Looks like we are going to see one more down here. That is Nifty. Let's look at Bitcoin. There isn't a lot of momentum on Bitcoin. And Bitcoin being at the top and this one being just at 50 could have made these 3 waves pull back. And continue to the downside as follows. Not that big a move. So this move, let's have a look here. So I was looking for this to be a continuation pattern. This to start pushing up higher from here, but we're not getting that. Let's see if this is gonna stay above 50. Cannot confirm now. I will do a short video on Bitcoin as soon as I see something, and you'll see it there. Right? So for now, there's no trade setup that we can look at there on Bitcoin. We'll look for detailed analysis. This one will be a decent trade setup if this does this. Will be a decent trade setup if this does this, then we'll look for this to continue pushing up higher. That is Ethereum. Here's a question. When we put the alarm informing us when the trend line is breaking up, right? Yes. The alarm will alert you when we start crossing over that line. It does not tell you when the candle closes. Litecoin, nothing, no new trade setup, but we'll wait for confirmation. Ripple, pushing up higher above the all-time highs. Looks like Ripple is ready to go. Has actually doubled almost from about 46 to 97 in just a matter of a day. So if you've bought Ripple, you've actually made some really good money. So Ripple has gone above the structure, so we should see Ripple pushing up higher. Okay, that's all for today, guys. We don't want to make these sessions long. It's already longer than I have planned it to. Want it to be nice, short sessions for only trade setups. Have a great week. Sandile will be with you later in the afternoon. Could we check US dollar chief still in the wave 4? I'm just gonna stop the recording and then we can check it offline. Have a good day, everybody. Cheers. Bye-bye.